764 with a beautiful 753.
Good, strong run. Shows that Oldsmobile horsepower that he carries with him into almost every race. And that time the handling seemed to pay off as well. Okay, the next pair. This is Butch Leal against Ken Dondero. A couple of real professionals in the pro stock ranks.
And two of the best drivers in drag racing off that starting line. Ken Dondero is seldom second best when it comes to leaving the line.
Well, Leal also brings a big reputation as a man who's excellent with the lightest, so it's going to be a toss-up. Remember now, in pro stock racing, it is the start that is absolutely critical.
And Butch Leal, everybody will tell you, is the very best at it. Well, Dondero wasn't second off the line. He was first, but too soon. He left a red light. Butch Leal, Pontiac Firebird, goes into the semifinals. And it was Leal who last year gave Pontiac their first ever pro stock win at the NHRA Southern Nationals near Atlanta.
So Leal moves on as we go to the next pairing, and that is Frank Iaconio in a brand new Thunderbird. His second year with the Ford product after a long time with the Chevrolet product, Steve.
That's right. Bob Glidden is already out, so Iaconio carries the Ford barrier all by himself. Dempsey Hardy, well, he's got an 86 Trans Am, a real veteran from Vero Beach, Florida. But Iaconio has won something like 11 NHRA national events, has been runner-up at 20 others. So the experience edge has got to go to Iaconio in a pressure situation like this. Thunderbird versus the GM product.
Steve, he had a long, hard road getting that Thunderbird to work for him. A terribly difficult last season. Right now, he's got his hands full with Dempsey Hardy. Can he pull it out? Yes, but just by a wing. A very strong run by both men. Iaconio in with a 763, but only barely. Dempsey Hardy gave him all he asked for and then some as he just pulled out that victory. All right, let's go to the next pair.
And this is the brand new Camaro of Jerry Ekman. So new it is yet to even be painted. Ekman is a very steady competitor, has not won a race, but may, if he keeps performing as he has lately, from Ventura, California, up near beautiful Santa Barbara on the coast of the Golden State. And Nick Nicholas, he's from the other ocean, Jackson Heights, New York.
Actually part of the borough of Queens. So we got East versus West, Pontiac Trans Am versus Chevrolet Camaro. A classic matchup. Interesting pair of guys, Steve. I really can't pick a winner here, can you?
Well, Nicholas has had the better last time, and apparently Ekman knew it. Jerry Ekman red line, and I think he just kind of closed his eyes and rolled the dice drop. He knows that he didn't win this race. I'm sure he saw the red light. Nick Nicholas will go to the semifinals. A nice 760, 182 miles an hour. This guy's a comer.
He sure is, but he's going to have to find some more speed because he's going to go up against Warren Johnson, who ran a 753. So Johnson has the lane choice in that semifinal matchup. The other pair, that'll be Frank Iaconio in the Thunderbird versus Butch Leal's Pontiac Trans Am. And Butch Leal, with the quicker ET, has the lane choice.
And back in the pits, things look pretty calm in the Connie Coletta pits as they finish buttoning up the between-round thrash. They, of course, will be facing Darrell Gwynn in the final.
Auto Parts Winternationals, Pomona, California. I'm Brock Yates. Steve Evans is here with me, and we've got some funny car action in the semifinals, Steve.
And normally, when you see Kenny Bernstein in the near lane, you think, well, there's an underdog on the other side. Not so here today. Tim Gross stepped up last round with a 5.67. Bernstein's best has been a 5.60, so anything could happen here. And Brock, I sense there's a little bad blood between these two anyway. One of the few defeats Bernstein suffered last year was at the hands of Tim Gross in Pennsylvania, and something might have happened that day. They are off right together. Bernstein smokes the tire. It's going to be Gross.
Oh, what an upset. Gross, just a perfect pass. Bernstein lights the tires up, as you say, a 561, a 241 mile an hour pass. That puts Tim Gross into the finals. You've got to write that off as a major upset here.
But that 561 of Gross's would have been tough for Bernstein to contend with no matter what he'd done.
Well, Steve, their reaction times were absolutely equal to the thousandths of a second, but it was the tire smoke there that spelled defeat for Kenny Bernstein and victory for Gross.
I can feel it in his pit area before this semifinal run. Tim Gross, you are full of confidence, and deservedly so.
Thanks, Steven. It felt pretty decent, but the car shook hard and a lot of clutch dust and all that, and I got distracted when that red car disappeared so fast in the starting line. I assumed something happened to him.
You smoked the tires. You ran a 561.
Oh, my God. All right. Oh, I hope she looks as good as it did last pass, because we're ready.
All right, Tim Gross, do I have to tell you he's excited? I don't think so.
Thank you.
And let's go to Brock with the world champion Bernstein.
You are witnessing a very rare occasion indeed. Kenny Bernstein, as a loser, almost an occurrence we just don't get used to talking about, you having lost a race. Kenny, it sounds as if problems are from the start, though, huh?
Well, she did. She smoked the tires and knocked them loose right off the start line. There's not much you can do, but, you know, those things happen, and my crew still worked hard at it, and it's been a good start for the season, and we'll go after that Winston Championship just as hard as we did last year.
Well, we're sorry out.
Well, I understand.
Well, the Winternationals was not kind to Kenny Bernstein last year, but he still went on to be the world champion. The big question now, who is going to face Tim Gross in the funny car final? Will it possibly be John Force, runner-up so many times in the far lane? Or could it be the beautiful Buick Somerset Regal of Dale Poldy? Brock, what do you think?
Well, it's hard to pick a winner between this pair, Steve. Of course, both of them have very equal ETs during the course of this event. Poldy, on the other hand, has won more major races. John Force may be a little hungrier on the other hand, so I'd say it's a toss-up.
It is Poldy off the mark first, but he blazes the tires just as Bernstein did. John Force will meet Tim Gross in the final of Funny Car Eliminator, a 575, 255-mile-an-hour win for brute force.
Well, you wonder, that was the same lane that we saw Bernstein go up and smoke in. There may be some oil down there, but whatever it was, exactly too much horsepower for Dale Poldy, and he is out almost before he starts. So, John Force goes on to the finals.
John Force, you're going to get another shot at that elusive final round, this time against Tim Gross.
Well, what can you say? People laughed at me when I hired Cole because I was spending that kind of money, most of my budget, and I said it'd pay off, and we went around about a gear change down there, but he said the track don't appear to be there, and then Gross pulled out that 60, and Bernstein smoked the tires, and thank God for the gear change, because you can see it worked and it ran just as quick.
Indeed, but maybe some attention is going to be paid to the clutch this next one, because you do not have lane choice.
Well, that was more a tune-up run, believe it or not, on a clutch, and the track's good, and if I can give him some help with the motor and the driving end of it, we're way overdue, Steve. You know it. It's been coming in 100 years.
Absolutely.
Seems like 200.
Yeah.
Brock's with the man, John B.
Well, Dale, we're sorry. That was a super show. A lot of people thought you were going to walk away with it today.
Well, that's drag racing. You know, it's we're out there with a crew that hasn't worked together, and guys just flow in to help me. And the new Roger Sound Labs car is doing really good, and I'm happy that we got as far as we did, and the rain let us run, and the whole deal. So,
what was specifically the problem?
We just went up there, and we were a little bit late getting in the line. We didn't get a chance to readjust the clutch, and John had a chance to make a lane choice, and he saw Kenny smoke the tire, so he did the right thing.
Yeah. Do you think that's a bad lane?
Yeah, it comes and goes around here. You know, when the sun starts going down, that kind of starts hurting you, and I think it was to his advantage to have the lane choice, without a doubt.
Well, you and Kenny both bit the dust in that one lane, so it's got to be something got to be the matter over there.
Well, there's a lot of races throughout the rest of the year and stuff. This is just the first one, so this Roger Sound Labs car is going to be tough.
Well, congratulations for going as far as you did, Dale, and we're sorry you're out.
Thank you very much.
You hear a lot of talk about the clutch, the all-important link between horsepower and tires. And who has the better clutch setup could determine the finals when we see Tim Gross go up against John Force. Gross will have the lane choice with that brilliant 5.61 elapsed time. Right now, it's time for the semifinals in Pro Stock. And this is Warren Johnson, who you can see by the number on his car was number 2 in the world last year.
And going against him is the New Yorker Nick Nicholas, who's decidedly in the underdog role here, I would say, against the number 2 man in this business. Nick is going to have to get all he's got out of that Pontiac to win this one.
Well, he was late off the line. Nicholas was 100th of a second behind Warren Johnson, but look at the fight he put up. A 7:58 wins it for Johnson. To Nicholas is losing, but close, 7:62.
Good drive, and I think it's surprisingly strong drive for Nicholas, really. We could be hearing more from this young man as the season progresses, Steve, because he was really, really in it all the way. Less than a car-length victory for Warren Johnson.
Is Johnson going to race that Pontiac in the final round, Butch Leal? Or could he possibly be up against Frank Iaconio in the red Ford Thunderbird? We're just about to find out. We've talked about how quick Butch Leal's off the line. He has cut a perfect light here today, Brock, earlier.
Well, he's going to have to do it because Iaconio has seemingly found the handle on that Ford Thunderbird. We said earlier last year, oh, he didn't do it this time, Steve.
No, it is a red light for Butch Leal, and that's a shame because Iaconio had some problems right off the line that might have given that race to Leo had he been able to just hold back some of that energy on the starting line. Iaconio wins it at 7:64. A big speed, 184 miles an hour.
It was, but believe it or not, Iaconio goes into the finals with a slower ET than both Nick Nicholas and Warren Johnson that first race.
That's right. Iaconio had some problems right off the line, but still, he will face Warren Johnson. It'll be Ford versus Oldsmobile in the Pro Stock Final.
And this man, John Forrest, will be one of the players in the funny car final as he goes against Tim Gross. It's showdown time at Pomona.
International, only 6 are left, including this man. Tim Gross, his crewman, uses some compressed air to blow all of the clutch dust out of the bell housing. That's the material that is worn off those discs. And interestingly enough, Brock, Gross did not even take that car apart. A little different approach.
Interesting. Most of these guys just tear him to pieces between rounds, but not Tim. That may mean he's confident, or maybe he's running short of parts.
Well, this is the Pro Stock Final. After a year of development, Frank Iaconio is finally ready to run competitively with the Ford Thunderbird. Warren Johnson, well, he's always competitive, but weather problems earlier in the week, limited qualifying runs. Warren Johnson really didn't get the time he felt he needed to totally dial this car in. Let's see what happens. They are staged and ready. They lead. It is Frank Iaconio out first. It is Iaconio ahead of Warren Johnson. Iaconio is going to win it. 7:56 to a 7.77. His first win in a Ford.
Interesting race because Johnson almost crossed the center line. He looked like he got a little bit loose, and from there on in, it was all Frank Iaconio. Let's take another look. They leave just about together, maybe a little bit of an edge to Iaconio, but there goes Johnson. Look at that. He almost crosses the center line right there and apparently had to back out of it. So Frank wins it.
You know, this is always a quiet man from New Jersey, but I think we'll get a little animation out of him now. It's 7:56. I'll tell you, about half the people in this place had just given that race to Warren not to be.
Yeah, he was running good though, Steve. I mean, he ran 7:53 twice, I think. The track's was a little fluky because of the weather, I think, and it was just a matter of who got down the track the best. I had a lot of trouble, and we changed some stuff for the final, just because we were like a tenth slower than Warren, and it worked. The car went straight.
You changed from Chevrolet to Ford last season. You struggled along. Glidden had such a head start from a development standpoint. Have you caught up?
No, I don't think so. I think Glidden would have ran 40s if he had run, if he was here with his old car. He had a new car here, and he had a lot of problems.
Yeah, but you got the money.
Yeah, right. That's what counts.
Frank Iaconio, Winternationals Pro Stock champion.
And it turns out that'll be about an $18,000 payday for Frank. Not bad for an afternoon's work. As we see the sun setting here at Pomona, and that is Connie Coletta doing his burnout in getting set for the Top Fuel Final. Darrell Gwynn already made his burnout. He, too, is backing up toward the starting line. And as we said, his entire crew is a volunteer group, including his fiancée, Shelley Stanton.
Well, Shelley, I guess you know it's love when your fiancé lets you pack his parachute.
Yeah, he doesn't have much time to do it himself.
You young kids have been looking forward to a win at one of these big races a long time. You going to get it today?
Hopefully. I hope. I'm praying for it.
I asked Darrell when you guys were going to set a wedding date. He said, well, when we get a sponsor, and he just kind of laughed. I wonder if winning all this money might help.
I hope. That's what he says. He's been telling me if he gets a sponsor and everything, but I don't think just this race. You need more than that to live on.
Well, maybe at least be able to buy the ring for you, Shelley, if you can beat old Connie Coletta as they get ready for the Top Fuel Final here, Steve.
It is Darrell Gwynn, first to pre-stage. We're looking at the exhaust headers on that car. You see the nitro flames as the shadows lengthen here at Pomona. Lengthen, it's almost dark. Connie Coletta here in the near light. One of the problems right now may be just seeing where you're going.
No headlights on these things. But there you can see the beam, the light of the staging beams. There's the Christmas tree. Green light. Look at those fire out of those headers.
It's going to be no contest. Darrell Gwynn off the mark first. Darrell Gwynn wins it. The crew absolutely ecstatic. That is his 5th consecutive 5:40 elapsed time. A feat I don't believe has ever been accomplished before. Give yourself a hand, kid.
Beautiful work, and it couldn't be deserved by anybody more than this young man. Worked so hard. A beautiful drag race. A good start by Darrell and by Connie. Absolutely equal reaction times, but from there on it was Gwynn as Connie loses traction and the young man goes on to victory.
Well, you've heard us all say it. Myself, Don Garlitz, anybody that knows anything about drag racing, that a win was going to come soon for this young man, Darrell Gwynn. Congratulations, 546 did it.
Thank you very much, Steve. Them runner-ups, I tell you, they just don't cut it. It's nothing like a win. I'm here to tell you, this is nothing like I've ever experienced. I've won 10 national events in the alcohol car, but the king of the sport, Top Fuel, here we are.
You know, people ask me,